Make sure I got my shit right. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous.
Don't be
I
nervous.
need two screens because I can never see the other thing at the same time. Anyway, ready?
Yeah, just DJ spin that shit.
Man, what should we do today, huh?
I mean, it's Black History Year, so we can do whatever we want.
It is Black History Year. That's a fact.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, cause I'm black.
Did it play? Beep,
Just
beep,
do it again.
beep. Oh, what? Oh man, they ruined it. I had it timed up so perfectly. I would just keep stopping it. Well,
Well,
that's no fun.
Doesn't like something.
There we go. Hey! Hey! It was much smoother than I did originally. All right, Doug.
Welcome to Films in Black and White, everybody. How are you all feeling? It is look, we got a new layout. It's a great day to be with y'all. Shout out to Marcus, I can assume, for the new layout. We're excited to be here. It's a great Monday. We're gonna get into it. You may notice though that it's just the two of us. It's
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try without Brian, because Brian's at Disneyland with his family doing fun things.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna make it. We're just gonna do what we can do.
Did
Is
I
Al
freeze
Gore's
up?
internet? Is Al Gore's internet doing it?
Yeah,
Or is it
it's
me?
doing it. It's doing.
God,
No. I think
God.
that was me.
Okay, good. I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, oh no. Yeah. The third heat is Al Gore's internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris, the third heat with tears. Yes, he is. If you showed up for Brian, you're gonna be disappointed. That's just
gone.
the way it's at. He's
So
not here.
if he's your favorite, then well, he's here.
Find a new favorite.
Find a new favorite amongst the two of us, the black one and the white one.
Pick one. We don't necessarily care.
one.
All I'm gonna say is it's Black History Month, so I don't think it should be me. So that's
It can be all of us. We need all of us.
That's right. That's true. But Marcus,
Yeah.
Feliz Año de la Historia Negra. Had to soft A that.
Easy, buddy.
Had to soft A that last part. How you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling all right. Like that's literally how I'm feeling. So I'm just feeling, I'm not even gonna bullshit you. I'm just feeling all right. So I'm here though. I was happy to pod. Still not feeling 100%, not even like 60% to be honest. But the pod, I couldn't miss the pod. Could not miss it.
I'm glad that you are here, even if it's on 60%. I am glad that you are here.
For sure.
Marcus, you had a ton of stuff.
So,
like a ton of stuff this weekend. So how'd the weekend go, sir? What'd you get into?
Man, it was great. It was a great weekend. For those that don't know, I work in higher ed, which is like, I just realized maybe a year ago that I work in education. You know, sometimes you would like, be like, man, I can never be a teacher, but I work in a different form of education, which is very,
it takes a minute.
Eye-opening experience. But no, I work in higher ed and just supporting my friends this weekend. We had Native Heritage Weekend. Which is usual. Megan and Dr. John Little and the Native Student Services, Brooke Jackson, everybody put on a phenomenal weekend that hosted like over 190 students and families from around the area, Native communities, different tribal representation too as well on campus. They had a banquet the night before with the Sampson Bros. They were doing hoop dances, and Jackie Bird, who also did a hoop dance, which was really cool. We had the founder of Sacred Hoops came down and he was the keynote for the evening. John and I were surprised to be honored with a star quilt or a blanket.
That's really cool.
At the banquet, but we just had zero idea. The 4 people went on stage with blankets, and we was like, there's 2 people. We know 2 people who are good. Like, obviously you'll do the keynote speaker, and then we had Dr. Jonas was being honored. And it was like, there's more blankets than people up there. And then they called our names. And so that was just really a very high highlight to be honored and to be recognized, especially in spaces that you are not you're not promised to be in. Like you're invited, but you're not always promised, or like you're not maybe even supposed to be in. And, you know, you're just grateful to be there and just support. So I was really honored by that and really honored by that experience. And then we had the game. The game went phenomenal. It was a great experience. And then we had the Unity Ball that evening.
Yeah.
And boy, our community is a hot spot for all the ooga boogas that you can imagine right now. You know what I mean? Like
bad, like
influenza and the flu.
Got it. I was like,
wait, what is ooga booga to you?
I don't know, but it felt inappropriate. Like it felt like something. Yeah,
it's like a racial term, or like
even Roman was like, "Excuse me, what?"
Like a ooga booga booga, like a monster, like a old.
Oh God, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
It felt racist.
Like a racist.
Like right off the rip, it felt racist.
Let me Google to make sure it's not racist. So I can't make any promises. I don't really. It's just a phrase that refers to nonsensical speech, a video game, or a song.
Okay, that's it. All right, there you go. All right, we're okay. Everybody calm down.
Hey, everybody pull a Chris Pratt. Everybody just relax, buddy. Just relax.
Just calm down. All right. Well, good. Well, hey, it sounds like it went well, which is great.
It was great. But how did your weekend go? I heard that you got a new something for the house.
I did so about 3 weeks ago. Our fridge went out. So like we just didn't. So Brittany and I and the whole Wagner family have been operating with a dorm-sized cubicle, like little like mini fridge to house all of our other stuff. And that's just like what we've had to do for the past. And our fridge got here today. So I am doing outstanding. I took Harrison and a friend to see Dog Man this weekend. So we went and saw that, which was fun.
Oh, how was that?
Not bad. You know, this is like that. How did we keep our meat cold? Well, I mean, we had like a deep freezer that like we had back when our kids were little.
Chris, I see you.
So yeah. So that's how we did it. So that's how we did that. So we put the meat in there. And then, but yeah, Dog Man was fine. I mean, this is a book that Harrison has been reading for a while. It's like a comic book format by Dave Pilkey, who also did Captain Underpants. And the movie was fine. Like it was good. I mean, it's a good kids movie. Like it was a good kids movie. But the real highlight for me is my son requested to watch Spider-Man Homecoming this weekend. So Harrison and I all watched that, and he was like on board. Like he was ready for it. So and it all has to do with, and I'll talk about this is what I want to talk about when I get to news, is the Spider-Man TV show. Like I want to talk a little bit about that because we watched that, and it was an experience. So but yeah, it was good. It was a good weekend overall.
Okay, I want to go back because Chris said they had to censor Bluey for saying ooga booga. Google it. So I did Google it. So this may be a racist. It may have racist like connotations to it because the Macquarie Dictionary defines ooga booga as a derogatory noun meaning a stereotypical rendering of what the speaker regards to be the language of those deemed by them to be African savages. So I apologize. Growing up, this doesn't make it right, but like Scooby-Doo, I think would use something like ooh sound, but I don't think that doesn't justify it being right. So thank you for catching me on that. It is a racist term. Now, don't nobody else say it.
That's the other thing. Like we can all learn. That's the best part of all of this.
See how unsensitive I was about that and didn't blame DEI for crashing out? You see how easy that was?
You didn't blame DEI for crashing a plane into the river?
I didn't try to cancel Chris. I didn't try to cancel anybody. I just took it on the chin and apologized.
You just went, okay. I learned something new.
I wasn't fucking snowflake about it. So ta-da, great job.
Look at you. I'm very proud of you. Good job. Look at you.
No, thank you though, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, that's good. That's good thing to know. In the interest though, speaking of DEI,
I probably don't build a great audience for us when I continue to divide us with those comments. But
you know what? Fuck them. At this point, like, isn't that how we all feel at some point in time?
True.
Like, I don't care. Like,
it's true. Chris said, I mean, I learned from Bluey. Knowledge is always worth sharing. I absolutely agree. Have you not heard the song "Celebrate Our Differences"?
I have not. Have you?
Have you heard the song "U N I T Y" by Queen Latifah?
I have also not. I don't think I've heard that one either.
Damn, what the fuck? That's a classic. Anyway, keep going.
Anyway. In the interest of being at Black History Year, and because I am tired of shit just like going away, and we're just gonna like stop doing it. I want to make sure that we as a podcast take time to celebrate Black voices. I'm gonna do the same thing during Women's Herstory Month. I'm gonna do the same thing next month. But I want to talk about the first African American man to be a major writer for a mainstream comic book company.
Okay.
His name is Christopher James Priest. He was born James Christopher Owsley. He was an American comic book writer. He's still alive today. He was born in 1961. He was at times credited simply as Priest in some of the writings he did, but he got his professional debut as a writer for comic books with issue #1 of the Falcon miniseries that was released in 1983. He was made the full editor of the Spider-Man comic books from 1985 to 1986. He eventually left Marvel and moved over to DC Comics, where he wrote Green Lantern. He would work on the first issue of Green Lantern Emerald Dawn before he departed again. And then he started to work on more intimate, like independent things like Conan the Barbarian, King Conan, The Ray, Steel, Quantum and Woody. And so he did a lot of things. So he, in 1993, became a group of writers and artists that launched Milestone Media, a comic book publisher affiliated with DC Comics. During the period, he co-created the character Static. So he co-created Static Shock, as you know him. And so he didn't disclose why he changed his name from Jim Owsley to Christopher Priest, but that's where he is. Also, fun fact is he also was a musician. He was a singer-songwriter and a multi-instrumentalist music producer. His stage name was Hollis Stone. So yeah, that's who this man is, Christopher James Priest. He is the first Black man to be selected as a writer for a major comic book company. So
I love that.
You learn something new.
I appreciate Doug using his platform to highlight our Black greats. You know what I mean?
And I thought, I could just go with like Sidney Poitier. But look, Sidney Poitier is great actor.
Yes.
But I wanted to go somewhere that we may not necessarily know. Like everybody knows about Sidney Poitier. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper. And to
that point, I want you all to know there's going to be several attempts to like dismantle and try to break down the legacy of different Black icons and history makers and trailblazers, i.e. Martin Luther King, right? People are already introducing different types of concepts to get rid of MLK Day by releasing his FBI files to try to discredit that man. This is my version of doing what Doug just did. Everybody need to hop off of it. Okay, stop using these damn excuses to be racist and to try to use like colorblind theory to get your passes off of shit that you don't like, and i.e. colorblind theory, sexism, transphobia, homophobia, everything across the board, because America is like about being united. Like, you know what I mean? We just talked about the celebrate our differences song. The part about celebrating differences is recognizing those differences. You can't avoid the shit you don't want to learn because you're too lazy and you don't want to be held accountable. You got to do your part. Okay. So like, this is what Black History Month is not. It is not to be a divider. It is to be a unifier and a reminder that yes, the history of Black Americans is very real, right? And we don't get here to be able to make that history without the tragedy and the trauma that comes from over 400 years of oppression. Okay, so we got to remember that too. And all of this is important. And to say, stop just quoting MLK, Rosa Parks as your go-to people, right? And even Harriet Tubman. Stop quoting them as your go-to Black people that you go, like, it's almost like a, these are my Black friends type of pool, right? You got to learn some more Blacks. Okay?
Yeah, just a couple. My goal over the course of the day, just like 2. That's all I want you to know. And now you can talk about Christopher James.
Now you got one. Doug saved y'all ass.
I'm trying to help you. So that way, if you're like, who you support for Black History Month, you can be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I can't say Rosa Parks. So I'm going to say, hey, do you know who Christopher James Priest is? You're welcome.
And you know
The
what
next
people will say?
cocktail
People are like,
party you're
"Oh
at,
my
you're
god,
welcome."
I did not know that fun fact." And you better thank Doug Wagner ass because
And if you're
Marcus
a single
wasn't going to be
man,
as lenient.
and if you're a single man and you are able to like it secures you a date with a very beautiful black woman, you're also welcome for 2 reasons.
Didn't see that coming.
Look, I'm just trying to be
I guess
your
so,
wing.
yeah,
I'm
for
trying to
sure.
be your educational wingman.
I
That's
love it.
all I'm trying to be.
I love it. I love
all
it.
I'm trying to be.
She probably does not give a fuck about that, though. You better have better standards than knowing who Christopher Priest is. However,
Hey, you know,
I agree with Doug.
during a drought, we all need rain, Marcus. That's all I'm going to say. That's
bravo.
Leave it right there.
Bravo. Thanks, Doug. That was awesome, man.
Good. And I'm going to do more of that. So next week I'll come with another one. And so awesome. It's something. It's my little form of protest. Like that's all. That's all I'm trying to do. But
I appreciate it.
We do have a game that we like to call Catch That Quotable that we're going to get into.
Catch that quotable.
The silky sounds of Marcus J. Marcus, are you ready for this week's quote?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Roman's hyping it up. He said, "Buckle up for this one."
Now, Marcus, I know what this is. After reading just like the first 2 lines, I know what this is.
Now, should I know what this is?
You might not, but I'm going to let you go and take it. I'll try to give you a hint, hints to get you there. And at the end, if you don't know it, I'll tell you what it is because I know what it is without.
All right, I'm gonna let you read it twice before I get into my deduction skill.
Okay, because it's long. Well, it's nothing very special. Try and be nice to people. Avoid eating fat. Read a good book every now and then. Get some walking in, and try to live together in peace and harmony with people of all creeds and nations. And finally, here are some completely gratuitous pictures of penises to annoy the censors and hopefully spark some sort of controversy, which it seems is the only way these days to get the jaded, video-sated public off their fucking asses and back into the sodding cinema. Family entertainment? Bollocks. What do they want? One is filth. People doing things to each other with chainsaws during Tupperware parties. Babysitters being stabbed with knitting needles by gay presidential candidates. Vigilante groups strangling chickens armed with bands of theater critics exterminating mutant goats. Where's the fun in pictures? Oh, well, there we are. Here's the theme music. Good night.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to read it again, right?
I'm going to read it again. I also want to point out that if you get this by yourself, Robin's going to donate $20.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Okay. Well, it's nothing very special. Try and be nice to people. Avoid eating fat. Read a good book every now and then. Get some walking in and try to live together in peace and harmony with people of all creeds and nations. And finally, here are some completely gratuitous pictures of penises to annoy the censors and to hopefully spark some sort of controversy, which it seems is the only way these days to get the jaded, video-sated public off their fucking arses and back into the sodding cinema. Family entertainment? Bollocks. What they want is filth. People doing things to each other with chainsaws during Tupperware parties. Babysitters being stabbed with knitting needles by gay presidential candidates. Vigilante groups strangling chickens. Armed bands of theater critics exterminating mutant goats. Where's the fun in pictures? Oh, well, there we are. Here's the theme music. Good night. Oh, no, I can't do. Look, I'm all about accents. But
now say it in an accent.
Look, I'm all about accents, but oof. Like
of all the quotes from this film, yeah,
that's a great point, Chris. Chris, you know what it is. I know what it is. Of all the things from this movie, that's the one we went with. So
I feel, oh God, okay. I feel like my deduction skills. There's an overlap or a gray area where Roman, Doug, and as we get to know Chris, we'll throw Chris in there. Y'all have a
it's a Venn diagram there somewhere.
Yeah, of what's the thing of Men in Tights? What is that?
Robin Hood Men in Tights by the Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, yep. Robin Hood Men in Tights type of vibe, or a that's not what I thought it was.
I'll tell you this though.
I was thinking like a Monty, what's his name?
Monty Python?
Yeah, something Monty Python.
I'll tell you this, Marcus. It is a Monty Python movie. You are in the right neighborhood.
I can tell by the
neighborhood.
It's the over exaggeration of the point, and it's a little breaking down the fourth wall-ish.
Yes.
So So now I'm not familiar with Monty Python movies.
I know that's where we're in trouble.
Can I get an ABC and pick the title? If you gave me 3 different titles, would that count?
I can give you 3 different titles.
Or
I
2.
will give you 3 different Monty Python titles.
Okay.
And you can tell me which one you think it is.
All right, hit me.
It is. Here are your 3. Life of Brian.
Oh, I miss you, Brian.
The Meaning of Life.
Okay.
And Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Well,
those are the 3 that I'll give you.
From the quote, Meaning of Life, because you said the way that the quote started was get along with people. The meaning, like it seems like it was phrased after a question, how do you survive longer, or what is the meaning of life? So I would have to say it's the meaning of life.
Nailed it. That's it. You got it. Meaning
All
of
right.
life. You nailed it. Yep,
listen, I don't even want the $20 for real. I don't deserve it. That was just all off of context clues. And
but hey, you still got it. And I'm
sure.
proud of you for getting it, because that's what counts.
I will do some homework. This must be old. How old is this? What year is this movie?
Oh, this movie's old. Let me pull up the date. So, Marcus, I'll give you a rundown. So, 1983. This movie came out.
Fuck no.
So
I'm young, Chris. I was born in 94, Chris.
Life of Brian is good. It's good though. It takes a little bit of a tone on. It's like a little bit of a, I don't want to say like a controversial take, but it does talk about. It's a lot. It centers a lot about religion, because Life of Brian is very. The story is what happens to this guy that was born in the manger next to Jesus Christ.
Oh,
so like
interesting concept.
So like it's a, the very first thing that happens is his mom is having them, and the wise men show up, and they're like, there he is, and she's like, why are you here? It's like, you brought a baby a bomb, like a balm, like a bulb. Oh, you brought a baby a bomb. What'd you bring a baby a bomb for? Like it's that type of humor, and But then they realize, they look outside and they see the star over the other manger. So they take all the gifts out and then they run over to the next one. Like, so it's that style of humor.
Okay.
It's very funny though. Like I enjoy that one. I would say if I had to rank them, that one's probably number 3.
You knew what I was going to. You knew what I was going to. Okay, got it.
I mean, Holy Grail is Holy Grail. I mean, it's the story of King Arthur from a comedic.
That's the classic.
Yeah, it's the classic. Right. Meaning of Life is a series of vignettes that are like from life all the way to death, and they cover like the major milestones of like birth, like growing up, like like school, like they cover all the major beats of that, but they sort of do it in like what they're known for, which is like in a skit fashion. So they do one, like, so for the one for birth, they over exaggerate how dramatic and how much stuff people need for birth. And I mean, maybe, do you want to ask that now? Like, I mean, we can get into it if you want, but I mean, Chris is Chris has a degree in history, so I'll let him resolve this one in the comments. Oh, Chris, that's not helpful. Chris, that's not a helpful comment. God damn it.
He's real in my heart.
He's real in my heart.
Nikki, I forgot we got to do it for the listeners. For the listeners, Nikki, our dog Nikki. Nikki came in and said, "Was King Arthur real?" Chris says, "In my heart, he's real."
So anyway, here we are.
All right, do that information what you will.
And I would say Meaning of Life is 2. I'd say Holy Grail is just so good that it's a classic.
I mean, it's the one of all of the Monty Python movies. I think Holy Grail is the one I hear of the most.
Mm-hmm. It's the one that I think most average Joes have seen. So yeah.
Lancelot.
I mean,
is Lancelot real, or what are we doing here? What's happening?
I don't know. We're gonna get lost here.
Chris, you handle the chat and the history, so that is your job now. You're a moderator to handle the history. You are
our historical. You are our historical.
Who is your favorite knight of the round table? All right,
I'm just here for Percival. That's who I'm here.
There were no Black Knights, so it is Black History Month. So save that for March.
I'm gonna answer that question in March.
Yeah, I'll answer it in March. We'll figure
also,
that later.
I find the fact that you're the green M&M a little disrespectful. Like, I just want to say that.
And his name is just here for Doug, so he's trying to seduce you.
I guess so. I don't know. But Marcus, this is a news episode. We're gonna achieve this.
Galahad is the goat,
and then the bird dabbing is just insane to me. But Marcus, this is a news episode.
I learned my Knights of the Round Tables from the Transformers movie, where they. That's why I was like, oh, these are all names around the round table. Yeah.
Now that you say that, I might have also done that.
I never put all the pieces together until Transformers movie, and I was like, got it.
Got it. Nailed it.
Yep.
Marcus.
Yeah.
What do you have to cover for news this week, sir?
I'm so sorry, Chris. Chris said that makes me so sad. Makes me sad. Here's my first piece of news, real quick, and then I'll go into like another piece. So tomorrow morning, I think around 7 a.m. on Good Morning America, Fantastic Four will be dropping the first official trailer. They dropped the teaser, but the new Fantastic Four movie will be dropping the first official trailer. I heard it's like 1 minute and 30 seconds. A lot of people were anticipating a trailer would drop during the Super Bowl, which is what I was thinking too as well. So it's interesting that they would drop that. I guess it's cheaper, and maybe you'll get more solo attention and some more build up for people that won't catch it during the Super Bowl. So that kind of makes sense. But the trailer's coming out. They did a little teaser of kids running up to the old school TV. It's very mix of like, what time era?
Like 70, like late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, from the clothing, it looks late 60s, early 70s, and from some of the things we've seen on scene. And so, yes, I will talk about that. I'll talk about that, Chris, in a little bit too as well. I just thought it was interesting. The kids running up, they use the term future foundation, which is also very interesting, right? That's something we don't typically hear about until after a main building of the Fantastic Four, at least, because Spider-Man's involved in that future foundation and a lot of other characters. Anyway, that trailer's coming out. So with that, Doug, do you have anything about that you want to say before I get into my next point, which kind of ties into this?
Nothing about that. I do find it not odd, but I do think that I think it's an interesting choice by studios, because we're getting Fantastic Four tomorrow.
Yep.
Jurassic World Rebirth,
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yep.
There was a teaser for Megan 2.0 that I saw somewhere. It might have been TikTok. I don't remember.
And
Final Destination. These are all big movies that, like, if I were a betting man, I would have said, "Oh, we're definitely getting a trailer for these
during the Super Bowl."
During the Super Bowl. Yeah. So it's interesting to me. I mean, they're still going to have a Super Bowl spot. There's no way that they don't. But it's interesting to me that they are now. They're almost like trying to take a page out of like Wicked's book to a certain extent, and they're trying to be like, "This is an event." Like, we're trying to be like stop what you're doing. We need you to stop and watch because it's dropping right now. So
well, also if you don't
Nikki can't say that.
Nikki, we can't say that, but
it was so something.
2.0
we'll see you next Tuesday. OMG. Nikki says so I'll post it. Nikki says Megan 2.0 teaser was so see you next Tuesday. OMG. Because I can't.
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to go into. I do not want to fall down a rabbit hole. But as a black man,
you're not wrong. But damn,
the chat is acting up today.
The chat's acting up.
Here's
We're
the thing.
getting trouble. So what's going to happen?
I never knew that word was so offensive until I moved to white areas.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
That C word. I didn't realize I didn't even know that was a phrase to use until I started moving to more white areas.
Okay.
Growing up, and then people and saw other women get so offended by it, right? Like as a dude, we use the P word to insult each other because patriarchy, right? And that's a sense of it's masculine, used as a masculine weakness to call another guy that, oh, you so whatever. I just never knew that this word was so offensive. I don't know. And I do know that somebody, Brian is gone. The podcast sheriff is gone. When the cat's away, the mice play. Yes.
Brian Roush, a.k.a. podcast sheriff.
Yeah, the podcast. The
podcast sheriff.
Brian is the podcast sheriff for sure. That word is a compliment to me, and I have heard it. I've used it in both. I've heard it used in multiple ways that women do use it to say, oh, that is so blank, or that is so whatever. Some older women do not like that word though. And I have realized that. So that was just interesting. Anyway, back to the point. Doug, I remember we watched the Super Bowl usually together for the past 2 years.
Yeah, I was gonna text you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And the commercials we've seen during the Super Bowl haven't been anything. The Jesus commercial comes on at least 4 times. Timu had 4 commercials.
He had a lot.
Jesus had a lot of commercials on during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get like the other Doritos, Takis commercials thrown in there too as well. Is it possible that the Super Bowl or that these businesses don't have the money to invest in the Super Bowl and it's not an event like it used to be? Because it used to be everybody gather around a TV to watch this. But now with the internet, you drop it and it's everywhere. You don't really need the Super Bowl or a focal point to like really see this stuff anymore.
Maybe that's what they're going for. Like maybe that's what they're trying to learn from all of this is like, look, we could spend, I don't even know what a Super Bowl spot costs you. I think a 30-second spot is somewhere north of $1 million. Like I know that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just a 30-second spot. So you have a 2-minute trailer you want to run. I mean, you're looking at a couple million just to be able to run that during commercial time.
Yep.
And I think what they're saying is why inflate our budgets any more than we have to when we know that if we make this a viral moment, that's all we need to do. So I think it's a smart move. I think you're probably right. Like, I think they've sort of said like, yeah, this is our viral moment. Like, we're going to try and create this moment online and just let it take care of itself instead of pushing it. And that's kind of smart. Like, well, I mean, and especially for the bigger movies, like this one, like, you know what I mean? Like Fantastic Four, you don't need to do a lot of work here. Like you know that the minute that trailer hits, it's going to get hundreds of thousands of views within the first
if not minutes, a million views,
if not a million within the first few minutes. So like, just let it do the work.
Well, I also think to your point, you know, you can drop it early in the week. Tuesday is early as fuck. Dropping it during Good Morning America, you're getting the mainstream family vibes. Like people are either getting ready for work, dropping their kids off at work, or whatever the case. At least that's what was on when my grandmother used to watch the news. It was like that is what is on in the background. So you're trying to obviously.
Mom is the same way.
Yeah. It's still right. You catch Al Roker ain't really. That man ain't really reported the weather in years. He just be pointing at the screen and being like, "All right, now." Dude, what's in your neck of the woods? Like, all right, Al, I guess get paid, man. But
Al and I fight routinely when he reports to the other. I yell at the TV a lot when Al Roker's on, and I don't know why. I think it's because like there can be a blizzard in where I live, and because that's supposed to happen, he wants to go like, yeah, but in South Carolina, I mean, you might get a little rain today. Like, motherfucker, it's snowing 12 inches here. You don't want to tell people about my misery? Like, I get real upset. I get real upset.
Joys of the Midwest. Yeah. Chris says Google says a 30-second spot is 7 to 8 million since your usual Googler is gone.
Thanks.
That's
right. Chris, thanks for looking out. Yeah, that's wild.
I would not pay that money because I feel like if I drop it on a Tuesday, get the mainstream audience, that gives me 6 days to go ahead and build it back up, to go ahead and build those views up. And then what happens is the same thing for artists that perform at the Super Bowl. You may go watch the trailer during the Super Bowl still. Let's say you dropped a teaser, right? But the teaser, now you only need a 20-second spot to say F4, Fantastic Four emblem, watch on YouTube right now. And you're just sending people right back to where you've already dropped the content, right? So, yeah. Anyway, all of that to say this. Here we go. Doug, these are some of the iconic movies that turned 20 years old this year.
Okay. Yeah. Lay down,
ready?
Man.
Number one.
So. I'm old.
Since we're on the top, I felt old. Listen, you should have seen how I felt. I said, what the fuck? Here we go. Is everybody ready? The first one, since we're on the topic, Fantastic Four came out in 2005.
The original, like with Jessica Alba?
With Jessica Alba and our boy Johnny Storm, Chris Evans. Came out in 2005. Brokeback Mountain came out in 2005.
I remember I took a date to see that. That was a good date. It's just look, I'm just I want everyone who might be listening to this to learn from my mistake. If there is a controversial movie about one's sexual awakening, don't take a date. Like, just take them to something else. Take them where the stakes are lower. Because I was like really into movies and I was like, we should fucking go see that. I bet it's supposed to be very good. Like,
what was good about it that said good enough for a date? Because that movie
it was just, remember when that movie came out, everybody was like, Ang Lee, like, just fucking does it. Like, they were like everywhere. Mistakes.
All right. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Continue on.
Yeah. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. The movie Sky High, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl,
Was Sky High that one with Tim Allen? Was he in that?
No, Tim Allen was not in this one. Sky High was, how do I describe Sky High? We should watch that, actually. It's a really good one. Actually, it was a Disney movie. And I think that Harrison and Harper might like it because it was like this it's the kids of the famous superheroes go to high school for superheroes to learn themselves.
Okay.
Very classic, very good movie. Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Get this. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe came out in 2005.
That's wild.
King Kong, the original, came out in 2005.
Peter Jackson King Kong?
Peter Jackson King Kong.
With Jack Black. Remember he was in that? Remember he was in that?
Remember it was shot in it was like with a 60s-esque tone, right?
Yeah.
That was very interesting. Brian's not here, but Elektra was in there.
Yep.
War of the Worlds, 2005.
Oh, I remember that.
That movie was crazy, actually. That movie I was like, what is going on?
You know why I remember that? Because I was in like honors English, or I was just in English class. Maybe not honors English. No, I wasn't that smart. I was in English and I had to do like a book report. And I wanted to do like a book report on H.G. Wells and that. So I listened to the original like Orson Welles like radio broadcast.
Nice.
And then I watched the movie and I also read the book and I did like a comparative analysis between the three of them.
Yeah, dude, you just said you weren't smart enough. You put yourself down and then did all this smart ass shit.
Yeah, it wasn't written well. So like
say 3 nice things about yourself.
Yeah, but anyway, it was very interesting to hear, like, to see like the differences in what elements they pulled in from the two, like, I'll say relatively original material into the movie. That was a Tom Cruise movie.
That's a Tom Cruise movie with Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, that's right.
The movie Robots, which was an animated film, not a Disney project, but I don't know where that landed. I'm not sure.
It's on Disney Plus, I think.
Maybe it was a Disney movie, huh? Wedding Crashers came out in 2005. Hitch came out in 2005. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy came out in 2005. One of my top 10 movies all time, maybe top 5. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. Madagascar came out in 2005. Sin City came out in 2005. Constantine came out in 2005.
For some reason, Madagascar feels older.
It does. I think it's because they kept doing so many like sequels and follow-up movies that
if you had said like what year did that come out before you had asked me, I would have been like 2000. Like that's just the vibe it gives off.
No, it did feel like a nice classic though to come out. I think the original aged very, very well.
Oh yeah, for sure it did.
So maybe that's why. And then Batman Begins came out in 2005. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire came out in 2005. So there was a lot that came out in 2005. HHGTTG was so good. What a loaded cast.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh God, yeah, because that was the first time I saw Mos Def.
Yeah,
and was like, "What the fuck is Mos Def doing? Get your ass in the booth!" But then turns out he wanted to be an actor. So like, shout out to Mos Def.
Yeah. I remember I was listening to his album and then I saw him and I was like, oh shit, this is the guy I've been listening to. So yeah.
Was that Miss New Booty? What year was that?
I think you're right.
What year the album coming? Anyway, 05. I think it's crazy that we're in 2025 and as the world is ending, a lot of our classics are turning 20 years old.
Man, they were cut down right in their prime, huh? 20, just getting to be 25 years old.
Like me.
These movies can legally rent a car. It's that, dude. I must have given so much money to my movie theater with like the amount of stuff that was coming out. Because I remember seeing most, if not all, of those in the theater.
Not Brokeback Mountain because my mom would. We were still very toxic.
We all know what I did. So we all know what I did. So
I'm trying to think of all those movies. How many of those were rated R? And I think it might have been
Brokeback Mountain for sure.
Brokeback Mountain for sure. Wedding Crashers.
Yep, that was an R.
Was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy rated R?
No, that was a 13.
No, I think that was it from this list. I think that might have been it, which is not bad. Oh, Sin City.
Was Constantine an R?
Oh, Sin City and Constantine definitely rated R.
Yeah, Constantine definitely was because that man actively unalives himself at the end of that movie. So
yep.
That's a character I want to see him do again.
That movie and oh God, what's the other one with Al Pacino in it? The Devil's
Oh, I know.
Warrior?
Yeah. The Devil's Advocate.
The Devil's Advocate. That movie scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
That movie
that
scared
one's
the shit.
Yeah.
When that
that
lady
was
is naked on that table, he's trying to tempt Keanu Reeves, and the wall is moving behind him. And I said, man, that shit scared the fuck out of me.
It's wild.
Anyway, what you got?
So I have a little bit of like in today's like piece of shit of the week. Like that's what I've got for my news. So we're all familiar with Neil Gaiman. Gaiman. Neil Gaiman was a writer for Marvel. He wrote the Eternals, which is outstanding. He also wrote the Sandman series that got picked up on Netflix. He was, and this came out today. He was sued for sexual assault and human trafficking by a former nanny. The lawsuit alleges that several instances in which Gaiman violently raped a babysitter. The author has maintained that sexual encounters were consensual. So this is awful. Like what's coming out about this. We'll post the article in the chat. In the episode description, not
it's
the chat,
everywhere. Deadline, Hollywood Reporter.
I'm getting mine from the Hollywood Reporter. So Scarlett, the woman Scarlett Pavlovich, she filed a claim in federal court in Wisconsin. It said that it was a decades-long history of sexual misconduct, and has also been signed by several other women. Implications of this will still play out. In my opinion, throw his ass under the jail, because that's where he belongs. But the other thing is that Netflix did have a Sandman series that they were doing, and they had done a season. They were like, hey, we're going to do a season 2. And now they're like, nope, we're doing a season 2. And then we've already started season 3. But once that's done, we're done. Like, we're not doing this anymore. And Chris is right. This one is a little bit of whiplash and surprise. So Chris in the chat said this is extra devastating because he had a reputation for being a good guy and a feminist. Yeah, he had this reputation of being like an upstanding dude. And so this was a big shock. I was very surprised. I was like, there's no way that this is right. And then as I kept reading, I was like, nope, he's a piece of shit. I think the only thing I have of his is I have the Eternals in a big form. I think I have like the collected edition, and that's it. But that one's tough. Not a lot to discuss there other than obviously everybody's entitled to due process, but my opinion is throw his ass under the jail. So that's where I'm at.
And prayers to the families that have been impacted by that. That's this. We are finding this out more and more. Chris said all the Sandman comics and everything like that as well. It's getting harder to separate the art and the artist, because we're hearing more and more a lot of things that come out about certain people of all art forms, of all politics, arts, rap, music, everything. And me and Megan had this conversation the other day about we often come back to Kanye West, right? About when you make anti-Semitic comics, what do you do about this movie? We had also had this conversation about R. Kelly, about all of these different things, and it's just becoming so hard. When it's not really that hard.
Fucking Puff Daddy, that one's hard. That one's weird too, because
what do you do? It's not the act. The act is if they are guilty and they are found guilty, then throw their ass under the jail. That's my personal opinion. Give them due process, and if they are found guilty, throw their ass under the jail. But what 100%. Are you supposed to do with the art that exists that has maybe been a part of your life for so long? And everybody has a different avenue for what they decide to do. Some people say, I no longer will support or buy anything new. Some people keep the old art that they know their artist as, and say I'm going to keep this, but I'm not going to support anything new or listen to anything new. I think it's up to the individual to decide how you decide to boycott, support victims. But you just it's just something now we have to keep in mind constantly, because it happens more and more too.
Well, that's the age of information that we're in. When we were growing up, back in 2005, for example, we would have had to read a newspaper article or a magazine article to get some of this information. And now you can read stuff and you can see it confirmed by multiple sources. I think that's the key piece, is that when you see a headline that's picked up by major media streams and news outlets, you look at it and you go like, yeah, fuck, now I got to separate some shit out because this is either have to separate some shit out or I have to take a stance on it because I want to make sure that you do the right, at least for me, I want to make sure that I'm being
on the right side of
respectful
history
of what the victims have experienced.
Absolutely.
But you're right, like it's tough. I mean, Chris brings up another good point in the chat, like fucking Harry Potter lady. Like, you know, what do you do with that? I mean, those books for many people were very foundational in how they grew up. I mean, my son got done reading them all. So like, it's what do you do with that moving forward?
Do you take some of what you can keep and do you reteach, you know, as you introduce it to, like, you know, Doug, for instance, or me, I'll use myself as an example. If I have children,
Roman, this is a mistake. Don't
you get all your news and political viewpoints from this podcast? Hey, brother, I'll be the first one to tell you, don't do that.
That seems like a mistake.
Don't do that, brother.
Sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
Chris had to hop in here and be our Googler because Brian usually is the one that helps us.
It's true. He usually keeps us a buck.
Info. Yeah, but you know, how do you reintroduce this to like my future children? Right, there's certain art that I hope preserves itself long enough for me to, like, if George Lucas, for example, you know, God forbid, I don't want to put anything on that man.
God.
But if something came out about George Lucas, how do you? Star Wars is a pivotal. I just said Episode 3 is one of my that was something me and my dad watched. And I vividly remember being on the couch and watching that Episode 3 scene where Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting and what that means. And that made me want to go back and watch everything else because that was my initial introduction to Star Wars. If that was to happen, I know it feels dramatic, right? And this feels like a great place to kind of have this conversation for a little bit. Like, it feels dramatic to say that, of like people like us that dive into several mediums and media of media and engagement of comic books, movies, CDs, music, everything. And then the person that is behind it or had a hand in it, they go and do these things that directly go against your morals and values and who you are as a person. What the fuck are you supposed to do?
Great question.
You know, like, what do you do? Do you still teach it and say, but by the way, don't be like the creator of such and such because they were a piece of shit? Like, yeah, but is that enough? I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where you really have to, you have to think about, can someone enjoy a story without knowing all of the background? And I think that's where it's hard because now we're evaluating the art and what it means to you. And that's what art is. Like you get to say, you know what? I think that Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is a good enough story that my son will enjoy it. And, you know, for now, we're just going to leave the rest of it there. And when he's old enough, we can explain why some of that is, why there are some other more problematic elements. And I think doesn't have to be all or nothing. It just needs to be a measured approach. And it's just something you have to keep in the back of your mind of, you know, like this is going to be tough for us to look at. So later. But it is. And the other important thing is, I mean, and we've talked about it before, media literacy is important. Like understanding this stuff in a vacuum. You got to just have to understand the context of it all. So
now more than ever. Roman just said nope. So I'm not really sure what the nope was for, but he just said
for something. So Marcus, anything else that you got?
I feel, oh man, there were some other pieces of news that I wanted to talk about today, but
I have
Doug, actually, Doug, what are you this weekend is Super Bowl weekend. What do you, Chris? I do, to your point, I do like that point. Take the Disney Plus approach of a label at the start of content about how things may not be appropriate but are being preserved. I mean, that to me, I was not as up in arms when they did that with, it wasn't The Sound of Music. It was I forgot the title.
They do it a lot. They did it. They do it with Peter Pan.
Yeah, oh, I did not know they do it with
Peter Pan. So like at the start of Peter Pan, they say like, hey, like there are going to be things in here that are maybe offensive to those of Native background because it depicts Native Americans in a light that is not accurate, or, you know, I can't remember I'm paraphrasing the thing, but anything like that, they do that. They even did it, I think, for like Aristocrats Aristocats.
that
They
makes
did it
sense.
for that too. So they've done it for stuff like that. I imagine we haven't watched Dumbo yet, but I imagine they would say it for Dumbo because the crows are a real problem.
A real problem. I do think that having the option of a label of some sort, like it's more work, but for me personally, I think a label is always just good, right? Because it gives you the opportunity to, if I read that and didn't know, I'll go Google, oh, what is this? Like I did with the Bluey thing, right? Oh, wait, is this something? Let me go Google it and then let me come back. Yep, Jungle Book 2, Chris. Absolutely. I like that. To the next point. Doug, this weekend is Super Bowl weekend. I just want to get your brief thoughts on who you got winning. What is your predictions? What do you think we'll see for trailers? We did this last year. So is there anything you think that'll come out and like wow us, or what are you thinking?
Trailer wise, I don't think there's going to be anything. I mean, I think the big ones that we're going to be looking for are going to come before. So I think many of the trailers that we see are going to be, many of the trailers that we see during the Super Bowl are going to be ones that we've already seen. Now there could still be some surprises out there, like that are sitting down. Like we could see a new, God damn it, a new Daredevil trailer because we're getting really close. Isn't that's this month? That's still
gotta be this month. Huh?
I'll
look it up.
Set to debut, so we could see another trailer for that. I think we'll see a lot more shows. So I think the streamers are going to come out big. So
March
I think
4th.
so I think the streamers are going to come out big. So I think Disney Plus will come out. I think Netflix will come out with stuff, Prime Video, Apple. I think we'll see stuff there. But I don't think in terms of movies that are going to a theater, I don't think that there's going to be a ton for us to look out for. In terms of the game itself, I mean, this is a repeat I didn't want. I didn't want to see Eagles Chiefs. I really wanted to see Bills and Eagles or Bills and Commanders would have been a fun game. All of those are games I would have rather seen. I do think that the Eagles have something a little bit more special in Saquon Barkley that they didn't have the last time that they faced the Chiefs. I think there's another element there. I would say
shout out to him. He just got engaged today.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. There's a part of me that doesn't want the Chiefs to win, but they probably will. And in that regard, Taylor Swift will be the big winner because my guess is that if Travis wins his Super Bowl, he will retire and propose. That's my prediction.
Does Jalen Hurts have a ring? A Super Bowl ring? No, he does not.
He does not.
Because the last time the Eagles won was
that was against the Patriots, and that was the Minneapolis one.
Oh God, damn. Okay, yeah, that's right. I think I'm going to agree with you as far as the game is. I think a three-peat. I don't want to fall into the theories of refs helping the game and everything like that. I don't want to do that. However, the better story is one. I do think that Travis Kelce retires if they win.
I do think he will too. Yeah, I do.
I think that he retires because he's already kind of setting himself up for movies and TV and television already. And you can kind of see that early transition into media more and more and more. He's already got that podcast. That's a fucking smash hit waiting for him on the back end. And nowadays these athletes can go and make a living for themselves in that capacity. Taylor Swift is definitely going to be an MVP. I'll say this though, talking Grammys just really quickly. I don't know what it was, but whatever dress Taylor Swift had on, I became a Swiftie.
It was a red dress, and she had
with the dangling T on the thigh.
Dangling T that was on the thigh, and you kind of had to be like, "Oh my god!" Good for her.
She looked a little thick. I hate to be a stereotypical black man, but that milk was looking thick. Anyway, I do think that Travis retires. I think after this, and you go for the 3-peat, I think that's it. Yeah. I think that'll be the end of the Chiefs kind of reign because you can't maintain that contract post. Everybody realign their contracts to come back to the Chiefs. You got to get it now, or you are not going to get it at all. I'm rooting for my boy Jack Cochran, who plays for the Chiefs, my dog. He's already got 2 Super Bowl rings, and he's from USD, and that's my dog. But I'm rooting for the Eagles because I want Jalen Hurts and Saquon. I think that's a beautiful way to end Saquon's story or start his story or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Commercials, I'm not really looking forward to it because of how the pattern of the past commercials have gone, which is just I'm more interested in Harrison and Harper and whatever they do in between games and stuff.
I'm excited. To be honest, the highlight of the Super Bowl, the highlight of the Super Bowl is Brittany Wagner's take on the halftime show.
Yes,
that is the highlight because when Rihanna was on there, man, she was just like fucking on it. So
What is this a Swifties chat? What's happening?
it's turned into that. I'm
Is
trying
this a
not to say anything, but yes, that is what it's
Puppy
turned
Bowl
into. That's what it's turned
2025?
into.
But yeah, that's just my. I have no predictions for commercials, TV shows, anything like that. I think it's gonna be kind of basic. I don't think we get anything that wows us. While I'm here, I am gonna hit on the Grammys because I promised that to Chris. I think that Kendrick Lamar sweeping in every category that Not Like Us was nominated for. Now, let me say this before I say that. I'm still gonna listen to Kendrick and Drake. I have no no difference, and neither one of those motherfuckers pay my bills. So keep that in mind. Okay.
They do not.
But I did love the fact that he went up in a Canadian tuxedo, right? And those that don't know what a Canadian tuxedo is, it's blue jean top and blue jean bottom.
It's all denim, everything.
All denim, everything. And he received what he got Song of the Year, Rap Performance of the Year, Music Video of the Year, and 2 others for just Not Like Us alone. And he fucking swept. Congratulations. And when they played the song, when his name got announced, and the entire fucking wherever the fuck they were, the entire fucking Coliseum or whatever, the place blew up singing A minor and holding the note. Oof. That's gonna be rough.
Oof. Could you imagine? Like, okay, picture this: you're Drake, and it's Sunday, and you're like, oh God, it's 5 o'clock. I know they're gonna get started here soon. Hey, look, I'm gonna put my phone away.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna play some Call of Duty, and I'm gonna go to bed. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. And so he does that, and he wakes up, and he opens his phone, and he's like, "Oh no!"
Yep.
He sees 5 awards, and then all over his socials are people like with the A minor piece, and his friends are like, "Dude, how do you feel right now?" Like, oh
Taylor is like, Taylor raised the glass. Beyonce is dancing to it. Taylor Swift raised the glass to Kendrick Lamar winning his song. One of the random in another genre distant was like, and for my piece of advice for you young folks out there, don't try to start a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar. And I was like, oh, this is like this is leaked over to just not rap. This is like universal.
Yeah.
So,
and there are some theories going back to your Super Bowl question. There are some theories that she might perform with Kendrick like her. I don't know if that'll happen, but we will see.
Well, yeah, it does. Chris said, I was watching Chaperone perform and the crowd singing and thought, wow, the crowd sounds really good. And then realized, it's the Grammys. No, look, listen, all of them don't always sound that damn good.
That's true.
But that halftime performance is going to be nuts. I hope that they actually let him get to perform Not Like Us, because I know there's legal battles and stuff like that Drake is trying to do.
Just do it and ask for forgiveness. Just do it and ask. Yeah.
Fuck it.
I have 2 things I want to talk about, but they're both related. So there's 2 trailers that came out that I want to talk about.
Okay.
The first is a trailer for Michael B. Jordan's movie that's coming out here
Sinners.
In April, called Sinners.
Yeah.
Marcus, have you seen this trailer yet?
Oh, I watched that trailer 4 times.
It's fucking amazing.
It's
this
good.
movie looks legitimately good. So we'll post a link in the episode description so you can check it out.
Yeah.
But this looks so good. Now, the general gist of this is that Michael B. Jordan has a twin. They are, prominent members of a Southern community, and then they're attacked by what I can only assume is demons or vampires.
Vampires. And the description, one of the descriptions said there's music ghost or some sort, or like the music attracts spirits or something. Yes.
And it's wild. So it's trying to leave their troubled lives behind. Twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. And the cast of this, Haley Steinfeld plays one of the vampire demons. Michael B. Jordan, Lin Jun Lee, Jamie Lawson. They're just Delroy Lindo was in this, which made me very excited. So like this just looks like fucking phenomenal. And it's from Ryan Coogler. So like this is going to be one that we definitely review, and I am very excited to talk about it.
Yeah. Here's my points with this. Number 1, Ryan Coogler is my number 1 favorite director of all time right now. Hands down.
Hard not to be.
Hands down, my number 1 favorite, and I think he has proven time and time again why he's the fucking GOAT.
Yeah.
To my second point, 1A, 1B, they should have gave him Blade. That's period. That's all I'm putting on that.
100% should have given him Blade.
That's all. After watching this, I absolutely think that they should have gave him Blade, and I wonder if he made this for that. Now, my third point is I have no idea what the fuck this movie is really about. I get the synopsis, but I don't know what it's about, and I think that excites me a little bit there, that I have no idea what the fuck this movie is about.
Me too.
And I just hope the vampires aren't racist Southern Baptist.
Oh, Marcus,
vampires.
I'm getting the vibe that they're absolutely racist.
I know,
vampires.
and he was like, "Oh, all of y'all." The way Haley Steinfeld said, "All of y'all are gonna suffer. We're gonna kill all of y'all." And
but
I just
notice all of the vampires are white.
Yes, and and that's the thing. And it looks like they may turn one of the brothers. That kind of looked like it got hinted at in there too. But Doug, I'm with you 1,000%, big dog. I'm with you 1,000%. Looks so good.
This looks so good. The other trailer I wanted to talk about was the dude who played Kang. What was his name?
Your Magazine Dreams.
Yes, Magazine Dreams. Now, look, again, I will say again, if
I might be rocking with you, just jump out on the cliff.
If
you jump on the cliff.
This fucking looks good. Like this Magazine Dreams looks amazing. And it looks amazing because Jonathan Majors brings it. So it's Jonathan Majors playing a bodybuilder. This is based off of a true story, I think, is the way that this one reads. And it looks absolutely phenomenal. Crazy. And I say all that, and then I'm going to pivot back to this caveat, which is he's guilty. Where he should be is under the jail. But this looks really, really, really good.
Here's what I think is about to happen, if I'm being honest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These two things are related because I saw somewhere on TikTok and I was like, that's a good point. I think that the Sinners movie was supposed to be Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors.
I think you are 100% correct.
I think that Jonathan Major was supposed to play that role, and it was, but the easiest way for you to get it was an easy fix was let Michael B. Jordan play twins. But I think that Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan was supposed to be in that movie together. I think that this movie happens. They said this was a Sundance standing ovation type of film, and it was like 3.5 years ago. I think that Jonathan Majors may get a comeback. I think Marvel may open the door and be like, listen, it's been how many years since that happened, and the world has been on hell in a handfire, and he was only found guilty out of technically, I think, self-defense. Don't quote me on that, right? It's because that, the finger of the woman. So all that being said, I do think
this looks really good.
I do think he makes a comeback off of this movie.
I mean, and we've got, again, I'll post the trailer in the episode description. I mean, it just looks,
crazy.
It looks crazy. It's got a couple of things for it that I think are phenomenal. It's got
this dude's
Raging Bull vibes.
Yeah.
It's got, that's what it reminds me of. This reminds me of Raging Bull, but about a bodybuilder and set in a more like modern time. It looks really, really, really good.
His build is fucking.
If he put on all of that weight for this movie, holy shit! Like,
now,
that's work.
I just saw this, so this is nothing crazy. But to your point, this dude is already going on his casting run, right? The media run. This is a Variety. I just pulled it up on the screen. And he's already with the rest of his cast about Magazine Dreams. And I would imagine that if people were trying to really cancel him, okay, he would not be on this press tour like this, right? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, would you really be in these? Would your cast really be with you if maybe they do feel some type of way and they're just hiding it?
The way they're all looking at him. Like this
so
might not have been the
cast
best
on the left hand. They're
like, ooh, give him his space. Like,
he's also big as hell, so they probably try to make sure he don't poke a bicep, don't poke his fucking eyeball out. The question is, we saw what it took to get James Gunn a second chance. Does Majors rise to that level? Great question, Chris.
Great question.
And I think the answer is yes. I partially think, as a conspiracy theorist, I think that Marvel has a deal under the table that told him to shut the fuck up for a little bit. Just shut the fuck up for a little bit. We'll bring you back.
Look, I don't put anything past the mouse. I put nothing past the mouse.
We invested so much fucking money in you. Nikki, Nikki.
ASMR. Yeah, our take is
Please.
real hot.
Welcome back,
Real hot.
Jonathan Majors. Welcome back. There's no other place.
I'm gonna
we would
crumble. I'm
rather
gonna
be.
crumble some paper, and that's the sound of the deal that they have under the table. You hear that?
Did you hear? If you listen closely, you'll hear. Oh, oh, oh,
Nikki. Calm down, Nikki.
Yeah.
Take it
Nikki, oh my God.
I didn't realize that was her thing, but there we go.
Nikki's out about the bus. Oh my God.
Hey, you know
Chris
what?
said, hard left turn, but I support it. You know what? This year in season 6, we're doing whatever it takes to get to the top.
That's right. That's absolutely right. If that means that I have to have a special ASMR tier of the Patreon, I'm happy to do it. I'll read whatever you need me to. Sixers.
Yo, Nikki is crazy, bro.
But those two trailers are what I really wanted to talk about, just because I watched them somehow like back to back, and I went, "Holy shit! Like, how did these get like back to back in my feed?" So
and Black Lead. So
yeah,
Doug's feed is black.
It's black. It's also a lot of Fetty Wap. Like, I need everyone to understand.
What is that? Because you requested that before we started. Where is that coming from?
Okay, so there's this trend on TikTok, and I know that I know what I'm doing here. Okay. I know that 37-year-old man is about to talk about TikTok and what really gets him going. But after the blackout of TikTok, my feed has been mostly scenes from movies where the hero rides in out of nowhere, but somehow it's got like with a JBL speaker playing Fetty Wap. Like, it's one of those, so it's like, it's and it's hilarious to me. Like, they're hilarious moments. So it's like the start to episode 3 where the 2 starships are coming in with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and it's like, yeah, but imagine they're bouncing their JBL speaker and they're listening to Fetty. It's just, for me, it's just hilarious. Like, and it's my personal favorite. And I think I spammed the chat, like our chat of you, me, and Brian. I think I spammed these. Yes, this one was my fucking favorite. Every time. Could you imagine?
Hi, Harry.
It's so dumb, but it's so funny.
Listen, okay, so to be fair,
listening to it from a distance, it's the muffled bass where you're like, because we've all driven by that, we've all been either that car or driven by that car. It's just funny.
So to be fair, I reposted that video because HBO Max hopped on that trend, and that's actually their video.
Oh, really? That's incredible.
They made that one of like when Ron pulls up playing Fetty Wap to rescue Harry. So I get it. Yeah, Doug building that FYP brick by brick. I had to do that shit too, to be honest. I had to rebuild my entire FYP.
I absolutely did. I've also gotten a lot of ads for Bumble, which is surprising. I don't know what's coming up in my. It's weird. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. I don't know who TikTok thinks I am, but
I know why. I feel like I realized this the other day that we share the feed for films in black and white.
Oh yeah, we do.
We're all logged into it. So I think sometimes I go in sometimes and I accidentally like scroll films in black and white when I mean to be scrolling mine. So you might be getting that because of my single only ass.
I also might be giving you some things that you might not be ready for.
Now you made it sound like an STD. So now
we have to stop.
And now we have now this is Brokeback Mountain. Brokeback Podding.
This is Brokeback Mountain all over again. That's what this is.
Podding. That's all that is.
Yep, that's right. Yep. Enjoy that. But yeah, no, it's I mean, that trend has been my life.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter one was my favorite. There was another one that I really liked. I think it was they did one for Lord of the Rings. When Gandalf comes, where Gandalf comes riding in at Helm's Deep, that one fucking made me.
Where the fuck does he have a JBL speaker?
That's why it's so funny to me. Is because that's why I enjoy it so much. But yeah, that's what I got.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Marcus, anything else you want to chat about?
90-minute monster.
Yep, that's where we're at. Yep.
Nothing, man. Nothing. Chat, y'all got anything that y'all feel like we should talk about? The Grammys were fire. Shout out to Beyonce. Shout out to Doechii. Shout out to Kendrick. Shout out to a lot of people that won.
I gotta listen to that Doechii album.
Shout out to Sabrina Carpenter. I did enjoy her album too.
I still don't get her, but good for her.
I think she's going to be the next generation. Her, Olivia Rodrigo, and Chappell Roan will be the next pop queens. You know what I mean? Like they are just the new pop queen. That new Gaga song did come out. Yeah. That's right. Doechii also dropped a freestyle after she won too, like Killer Mike. Doechii deserved to win. Yeah, absolutely. And her performance was absolutely gas at the Grammys. Her breath control, performance ability, it's good when you look into the crowd and Jay-Z and Beyonce are like, God damn, you know what I mean? So shout out to Doechii. Doechii, on your first debut rap album as a woman, tough. That's just tough as nails, dog. That's TDE. She signed a TDE, so that's fire as fuck, man.
That's amazing. Love that. I love it. Cool. Well, I guess we'll just we'll go ahead and just close this bitch out, shall we?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Marcus, what do you got to plug?
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, we could do more ASMR. I mean, if people want to listen to us do it, I'm happy.
I think you gotta pay. You gotta pay us for the second bus, so don't no.
Yeah, first bus is free.
Yeah. All right. So with that being in mind,
okay, y'all listening to this. My favorite is that are these awkward, sexually charged jokes, and then we go right into
opposite of that.
Let's plug Maggie's business.
Yeah.
Like my favorite is Jesus
Christ. Needs a little. Don't. Nikki, don't be a gooner. Don't be a gooner. Don't do that.
That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt. Do you understand?
Which one? Gooning to the oh no.
Gooning to films in black and white makes me laugh.
That actually would be a really good t-shirt.
Be a fucking hilarious
shirt.
That
would be a really funny fucking shirt.
It would just be a pic. Here's what I envision. It's a shirt and it's a picture of a door with a note on it that says "Gooning to the new films in black and white," that's like hilarious. Behind a closed door.
But the door's got to be like halfway cracked,
just like half cracked,
like the light screen through it. Yeah. I'm with you.
All right. Well, if we know anybody who has if anybody has a shirt making company that would like to make that, please go ahead. But speaking of shirts,
Doug, that is not the t-shirt. So y'all telling me if we would make a gooning with films in black and white as a shirt, wouldn't that be
so funny? So fire, we need that one and a 90-minute monster shirt.
We definitely need a 90 and a Boy Howdy shirt for
Brian. Yep.
Yeah.
But speaking of shirts,
Etsy.com /shop/ The Love Nerds. The Love Nerds has all of your lovely nerdy needs. If you need recipes, if you need some new crafting ideas, if you need poster ideas, vlogs about what items to buy, everything that you need, you can stop by The Love Nerds.com. That is TheLoveNerds.com to find all your love nerdy needs, baby.
Absolutely. I want to plug this podcast. Hey, if you enjoyed our, hour and 12, hour and 15 of silliness, we go over to patreon.com/films in black and white. Consider signing up for one of the tiers. But the best thing that you can do is tell a friend or a family member that you love this pod and encourage them to listen. That's the best way that we grow as an independent pod. But Marcus, what else you got?
Make sure you follow the mantra, never offended, always humble. I'm trying to figure out, we got music in the tuck. We got music that's being mixed for me. Soultye, SOULTYE has music out currently right now. I want to thank everybody because I have a few songs that have reached over that 1,000 plays mark, which is really hard as an independent artist. And so we have a couple songs that are like over 2,000. We have a few songs that are over 1,000. So I just want to thank y'all for listening in any capacity, for sharing the music, for constantly supporting. Extortion is out right now. That's XTOR, Ortion, or whatever the rest of you way you spell it. Extortion without the E, but starting with an X, is out everywhere right now. I mean, I got no more music on the way, but whatever you do, make sure you follow the mantra, never offended, always humble.
I'm gonna tell you how to spell extortion so everybody knows. Like, it's important that
EXT.
I don't know, with the ortion
or shun.
XTORTION. That's how you spell extortion.
Thank you, Doug.
But with an X, like Des Bryant. But Marcus, we have a 3-step process to success.
Jesus.
Marcus, what is that first step? You get the first one because Brian.
That's right. Because Brian is out. I take the first step. Step 1. Read a book, baby. You want to make sure you stay involved.
Someone froze.
Stay knowledgeable. Doug froze, so that's why I kept going. It was him. Now he's talking in the background. Make sure you read a book. Make sure you stay up to date with the world. Make sure you stay up to date with what's going on around you. Or if you just need an escape from the world and you want to do the exact opposite, hop into a good book like my good brothers Blues Clues and Steve Blue Skidoo your ass right into a good book. But whatever you do, read a book, baby.
Absolutely. That second step is, look, y'all, it might still be winter. That groundhog may have seen his shadow and has given us 6 more weeks, but that doesn't change that you need to have 6 more weeks of water drinking in you too, because it's important to take care of yourself. So be sure to drink some water, treat yourself to the nice water, and your body will thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
And when you know what the deal is. Make sure that you are washing your ass. Drink some water, wash your ass. Not at the same time, not with the same water, okay? But drink some water.
No, don't do that.
And wash your ass. Get them between them cheeks. Get yourself a new towel. Get yourself some new vibes, and get some new soap. All right, it's a new year. Your body is craving new soap. It's craving some new hydration. You keep using that same brick of soap and it ain't really getting the job done. Your body has changed and evolved over time. You know what I mean?
Where you have that like thin like wafer soap that you've been nursing for like 6 weeks. Like let it go.
Yeah. It's starting to look like tree branch like limbs a little bit, like you see through, like you can kind of see the tendons of the soap. You need to let it go.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Let it go.
That does it for this week's episode of Films in Black and White. We'll be back next week with another outstanding episode. But in the meantime and in the between time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll catch y'all next week.
Man. Brian's gonna come back to a disaster.
Oh, this is a nightmare for Brian.
It's so bad. Sorry, Brian. Jesus Christ.
Okay, Brian.
It was really Nikki that really did it. Bye, girlies.
Bye.
Out for a jump scare. Jump scare. Make it bust. 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 Make it bust.